was the
I was out of my mind.
Ali was the mouthpiece for a religious group that shared the same beliefs as the white supremacists, the Ku Klux Klan. And both organizations met regularly to discuss a possible pact. Ali even spoke at a Klan rally.
A Klan rally.
And ahead of the fight in Manila, boasted about the experience.
It's a hell of a scene. All these white hoods on, the bonfire, and me on the platform, and all these clans was talking. I said, black people should marry their own women. I said, bluebirds with bluebirds, red birds with red birds, pigeons with pigeons, eagles with eagles. God didn't make no mistake. They say, yeah! They said, well, you teach the rest of them niggers that, everything will be all right. On the way out, a funny thing happened. One of them says, we got the nigger, string him up. And I looked and I jumped. And one of them came out with a rope and he said, we're just joking, champ.
Champ, joking around with the Klan. That's the man. Joking around with the Klan. Hey, champ, we're not going to string you up. We just strung up your
church
man.
Where that was preached every day. They were on the same side.
Wow. Hey, champ, don't worry about it.
They were on the same side.
Don't worry, champ. You're one of the good ones.
You and this documentary, you are white people analyzing black people who were raised in a racist society and driven crazy.
I'm a person.
This demonizing
feeling for Joe Frazier. You're a narcissist at a 34.
Of a simple man.
Oh, boy.
Is ridiculous. I'm like, who are these? It's white people who did this documentary.
You have a 34 rating
as
a
white
narcissist.
Man who did this. I'm like, listen
I'm a people
to this
person.
music. Listen to what they're doing.
Yeah.
They say nothing about the context of being raised in this racist society.
Say what you want. I was raised in a racist society.
And
I didn't
you
use
have your
race.
problems, and look at what you're doing now.
No.
You're analyzing people who you can't understand.
Joe Frazier is the true champ, and he will be here today. And by the way, as a woman, Muhammad Ali will not be here. He, by the way, doesn't have anything to say. He's in La La Land.
Isn't Daniel Carver a simple man? He's simple.
Wait, hold it. You expect me to think Daniel Carver has a rational thought about
So
something?
you forgive Daniel Carver?
Right.
I do forgive Daniel Carver because he's out of his mind. I don't pay attention to Daniel Carver, and Daniel Carver has nothing to do with how I feel about myself.
But would you say then that goes to all people in the KKK?
Yes, they're dumb and under some delusion that I have some responsibility for how their lives are.
So Ali is dumb, too.
Absolutely, he's dumb.
That's right. And Joe Frazier is the people's champion.
Read what I say in my book. It's not that Ali was a great man. It was that Ali was someone we could relate to. We couldn't relate to Martin Luther King. We could relate to Ali because he wasn't perfect.
So you don't...
But he was brave.
You're not angry with those guys who lynched people, are you? No, they're just dumb.
Oh, here we go.
All right, there you go. I'm
angry at the entire society and the entire country. You know, when somebody,
you got the wrong hero.
When somebody raises their hand and says they've not always been proud of America, white people scream, "Whoa, you're not a patriot." Now you're using it the opposite way.
Joe Frazier is the people's champion. Just remember that. And rewrite your book and put Joe Frazier's name.
Brainwash me, hunky.
Joe Frazier, the man. And don't you even talk to Joe when he's here.
I won't talk to Joe when he's here. Because you're going to try to rile the poor man up again.
Oh.
Let him have some peace in his life.
Wait till Joe gets here.
This is so ridiculous. Do you know...
During the interview, face the wall. Shame, the wall of shame.
Now look at you trying to master me and tell me what to do.
Yeah, I've been trying for 20 years and you finally wised up. You won't listen. Whatever. Anyway, so Joe will be here. And we love having him in.
And stop trying to demonize Muhammad Ali.
Oh, I'm not demonizing him. I'm demonizing you.
His life, and he's suffering for whatever those crimes are that he did commit.
Thank you. Well, now you're talking.
He doesn't need you to be his judge. And you should feel...
I judge him.
You should feel inadequate to judge anyone during this era.
No, I'm totally
These
adequate.
were people, we were all fighting for our freedom at that time.
By the way, Robin wants you to know Hitler was just a simple artist with a dream.
No, Hitler was a maniac who
come on.
got
He's your hero.
Who got control of another bunch of maniacs, and they all followed him.
So do you ever get upset at anyone's behavior or no?
Surely I get upset at the actual behavior, but you can't expect crazy people to have rational thoughts.
Your hero, Muhammad Ali,
was a crazy person.
Is the wrong hero.
Driven crazy by the society he was grown up.
The wrong hero You need
And
to
so
worship
was
Joe Frazier.
Because for Joe to be subject to someone else calling him a gorilla is ridiculous. It shows a lack of character.
No.
Yes.
Joe had a family.
You can't. That
people.
was part of the problem.
Stop it. You've never had a national figure, a beloved national figure, sit there and ridicule
Are you
you.
kidding me? I've been called names all my life.
Not on the
life.
world stage.
Absolutely. People have
Who did
ridiculed
that?
me.
Who's the
maligned
prominence?
me just for working with you.
Who is the prominence of Joe
How
of
about
Muhammad
the woman
Ali?
who runs Ebony Magazine?
Oh, I never heard of her.
Almost every black organization.
Never heard of them.
They shun me.
No.
Shun me.
Bullshit.
Bullshit.
That's right.
Have you ever seen me in Ebony Magazine?
Yes.
No, you haven't.
They had you behind bars in a cage.
People have called me the same names they've called Joe.
I'm going to put you on the cover of Howard Stern's Ebony. I'm buying Ebony Magazine. Look, you'll see the real hero come through those doors
love
today.
Joe, but you can't carry on like this. It's ridiculous.
You will see the real hero.
It's ridiculous.
Right, Fred?
Unfortunately.
Who do you side with, Fred?
I think you're being overly simplistic of your evaluation.
Rob,
You're talking about
He's talking to you, Rob.
They're about 3 years away from being lynched in the South. I think it was a black guy trying to wrest any sort of control for himself in the world.
I want you
you
to apologize to Joe Frazier today.
I do like Joe.
apologize to Joe.
And I think
Joe.
it was gamesmanship on Ali's part.
Absolutely. And Joe fell into the syndrome, just like George Foreman.
Well, we all can't be as strong as you. And by the way, what is it, Gary?
You know, there's one interesting part that you're leaving out of this.
This ridiculous documentary.
No, just as far as the relationship, and this is a true thing, Robin. You know, when Ali couldn't get a fight because he was out, you know, Joe Frazier went to the Pennsylvania Commission.
I know all of this.
Right, and they were in the back of a car, and Ali had no money.
Yes.
And Joe Frazier handed over
I know.
a thing. So if you're doing that, how could you turn around and do that to Frazier?
It's simple.
It's not that simple.
They were raised in a society that was crazy.
Excuses.
You have no idea what
It's a
racism
horrible man.
is. You have no idea what it does to people. None.
All I can
what
tell
do you
you
think
is
South Africa was all about? All those black people dominated by a few white people. You know why? Do you know why?
You're going to tell
let's
me.
learn.
Because the tribes hated each other. So they couldn't unite to oust their black captors.
Okay, but if Ali hated Frazier, why did he take his money? Why was he his friend?
He was in a survival mode, obviously, all of his life.
Excuses.
See, the thing is, I don't think Ali ever hated Frazier. He was just using him. And unfortunately, Frazier took the bait every goddamn time.
That's right.
No.
Joe was very
Absolutely.
naive.
So Joe's naive, but he isn't. But he didn't
He's
make
not
fun
a
of a
bad
man's
man.
race.
No, he
he's
didn't.
He's a good man, and
I
he's
think
the people's hero.
I think the pain that Joe felt
a real
was being
black man.
tricked by Ali every friggin' time.
Well, and Joe and his
Every
family.
time.
Muhammad was the devil.
Part of that is the relationship between light-skinned black people and dark-skinned black people.
I've made a decision. Not only are you going to face the wall during Joe's visit, but Fred is.
gonna face
He's going
the
to
wall.
stare at you.
I said I love Joe.
No.
Are you kidding?
You're out.
See, you can't do both.
I mean,
Howard wants you to choose.
Choose, man.
Ali even cheated the Foreman out of his championship.
Absolutely.
You ever see? There's a thing ESPN had on about don't blame George Foreman for losing to Ali, because Ali went there and he did some pretty amazing gamesmanship stuff.
Absolutely,
to
the
Frazier.
same thing.
He would want to
Same
win at
thing.
any cost.
I am with the dark-skinned black man.
Well, then
There you
you're
go.
still separating the
That's
races.
right.
You're still
Me and Joe.
separating the black people from each other.
Joe told me Muhammad Ali's white.
On the
So
other
no
hand,
high
I'm the
stepping yellows
uniter.
for you.
I'm with the real black man.
I'm the uniter. All of us are black, and it doesn't matter what color your
Well,
skin is. And
Then you're not
we
black.
have to realize what racism does. It even turns people against themselves.
Joe Frazier will be here, and Robin and Fred will be facing the wall. Thank
Here
you.
we go. Massa
Sorry.
says we got to face the wall.
Massa's telling you. You better listen.
Because
I'm
we
sorry.
got opinions that don't agree with his.
I'm sorry.
You guys better face the wall.
All right.
Or I'll
If I
get that
have to,
big
I have to.
Are
whip.
you going to get your whip?
But before I face the wall, I'm going to still say I love Joe.
And I'll say I love both.
Well, we'll see what you say when he comes in here. And you guys can sing spirituals while I talk to Joe.
Swing low.
Sweet chariot, coming for the carry me home.
Hey, Fred, as long as I'm speaking to you, I was listening to the wrap-up show, and they were talking about how you would never sign a book for Sal when he was a fan of the show before he worked with us.
Oh, really?
I don't remember that, to be honest with you.
Here's Sal talking about it. I was wondering if you had some recollection of this, but I see you don't.
When I first came to the show, my first appearance ever, I brought my private parts book.